Music lovers today were mourning one of pop music's most charismatic and memorable figures, the singer Dusty Springfield, who died of breast cancer last night at the age of 59. She should have been at Buckingham Palace yesterday to receive the OBE she was awarded in the New Year's honours, but because of her illness, it was presented to her in hospital a month ago. Today, the Queen was said to be saddened at the news of her death. Tim Wilcox recalls the life and music of one of Britain's greatest pop music icons.
It was this Dusty Springfield hit in 1966 that confirmed her position as a major international star. It sold more than 1 million copies and became her only British #1. She was the white girl with a black girl's voice and an image that epitomised the 60s.
Good production, great songs, and a really good voice. And she knew about that and did it regularly. And she was very conscious of image. She had that fantastic image at the dead right for the time, the great big beehive haircut and black-rimmed eyes.
She was born Mary O'Brien, the daughter of an accountant and a housewife. Her life, like her music, one of continual transformation. From an early all-girl lineup to folk trio The Springfields that included her brother Tom. But after a decade of hits and controversy, Dusty left for Los Angeles, where drink, drugs and depression quickly took their toll. Then, in 1987, a career renaissance with the Pet Shop Boys. 7 years later, she was diagnosed as having breast cancer.
I coped really well with it. I had one bashing around of pots and pans in the kitchen, which was just one night of, my God, you know, is this going to kill me? And I'm a Celt. I mean, it doesn't get us.
But it was a disease that did finally claim Dusty Springfield yesterday.
The only one who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man.
Tim Wilcox, News at 10.
Dusty Springfield, whose death was announced today. The Foreign Secretary Robin Cook went to one of the biggest radioactive waste dumps on Earth today at Murmansk in northwestern Russia. It's full to overflowing with reactors and fuel rods from decommissioned and rusting Russian nuclear submarines. Mr. Cook said Britain was very anxious to help deal with the problem. Our Moscow correspondent Mark Webster went to and reports now from Murmansk.
This corner of Russia has one of the highest concentrations of nuclear waste anywhere on the face of the globe. Literally thousands of nuclear fuel rods have been dumped, some of them on the ship behind me, and nobody now knows what to do with them. Inside this one aging tanker, the Lepsy, a deadly cargo of 600 radioactive fuel rods has been dumped untouched for the past 20 years. Britain's Foreign Secretary was told it's now dangerously unstable, so he promised British money to remove the nuclear waste and store it safely, because it'll stay radioactive for the next 200,000 years. Russia allowed us into this once top-secret area because it needs foreign help to deal with the huge problem of nuclear waste. Just along the coast, 95 abandoned nuclear-powered submarines lie rusting in the icy waters around the Kola Peninsula. Unable even to pay the wages of its crewmen, there's little cash to monitor the nuclear cores, and environmentalists warn of the danger of a nuclear catastrophe if the situation is not tackled urgently.
I believe that it is not just Russia that has this problem. We share this problem with Russia. If anything were to go wrong, we also would be affected. Therefore, it is in our interest to make this investment.
Touring a plant being built to process radioactive liquid, Mr. Cook was told it should be operational by the end of this year. That's some consolation for the people in the city of Murmansk, who live in such a contaminated area that a monitor in the centre of town constantly displays radiation levels. The Foreign Secretary has promised British help to do whatever he can, but it's estimated that the cost of cleaning up all the nuclear waste in Russia could be $1,000 billion. Mark Webster, News at 10, Murmansk.
Conservatives today launched their campaign for the new Welsh Assembly with an attack on the government's Welsh language policy. Rod Richards, the leader of the Conservatives in Wales, claimed non-Welsh speakers faced discrimination because of what he called linguistic apartheid. For our special report tonight, we're again looking ahead to the millennium and what it could cost us. In the last 2 months, News at 10 has seen what industry and government are doing about the millennium computer bug and how some people are getting panicky. But if the worst comes to the worst and our household appliances all go wrong, at least we'll be covered by insurance. Or will we? Richard Lindley has been investigating.
Catching criminals could be harder because of the millennium bug. The clock calendar in some burglar alarms may fail to function properly. Some alarms would still work, but they might not record the date and time accurately. There's no need to worry about central heating controls or mobile phones or your microwave, but the bug could attack anything with a date system, like a video recorder or an electronic notebook. Computers are most at risk because they're the most electronically complex thing in your home. And now the big insurance companies are saying they won't pay for damage the millennium bug does to any household appliance. In its leaflet, the Association of British Insurers is very clear. Your policy will not cover individual items which malfunction at the millennium. So while insurers will still pay out for what's stolen in a burglary, they won't pay for a burglar alarm that goes wrong. Insurance, they say, is for the unpredictable. And we can all see the millennium bug coming.
If you know you're going to die tomorrow, you wouldn't expect a life insurance company to issue you with a 10-year policy that would pay out, knowing that thing is going to happen. If something is absolute certainty and you know you're going to have to pay out, you wouldn't cover it.
Some companies that insure household goods will cover any damage the millennium bug might cause, but even they draw the line at covering your computer against what might happen.
We have put an exclusion clause on home computers because there is an issue with home computers. But where our policyholders have a problem, we can supply a free software fix or disk that they can put on their computer, check whether it's compliant. If it's not compliant, this little software program can fix it.
At the Consumer Association's Research Centre, they're testing different products that claim to be able to scotch the millennium bug. Apple Mac computers, they say, should be fine, but can other PCs, particularly older ones, be made bug-proof? The experts are hopeful, but not certain.
Well, after you've run one of these bits of software on your computer, you should be fairly confident, but there's no guarantees. And the only way you're going to find out is come the year 2000 and whether things are still working okay on your computer.
Come the millennium, will you be insured to step outside your home and go travelling? Lloyd's in London, they're still not ready to insure some airlines to fly. How worried are you about what's going to happen at the year's end?
I personally don't think we'll see lots of aeroplanes falling out of the sky, but I do think we'll see the system slowing down, and there will inevitably be hiccups here and there. But I haven't got a crystal ball, and I can't really go much further than that.
Nobody really knows.
No one knows.
Anne McIntosh, as a member of the European Parliament, is a frequent flyer to Europe. She's angry she's having trouble getting travel insurance to cover the dawn of the millennium.
I think the insurance industry is making the millennium bug worse because they're saying not that there's not going to be a problem, but that we don't know what the problem is. We all accept we don't know what the problem is. We are urging the insurance industry to come to grips with this problem and act so that people can travel and that the operators can function on the day.
The trouble is, no one knows exactly what will happen as the new millennium arrives. Richard Lindley, News at 10, City Airport, London.
In tonight's European Champions League football, Manchester United got what their manager Alex Ferguson called a great result against the Italian side Inter Milan. The score, United 2, Inter 0. Dwight York got the goals, both headers, both from David Beckham crosses. Peter Staunton reports from Old Trafford.
Old Trafford was set for another night of memorable European Cup action. Inter Milan's fans bringing a taste of the Italian terraces with them. The fireworks on the pitch began before kick-off. David Beckham coming face-to-face with Diego Simeone, the Argentine player who got him sent off in the World Cup. He was booed all night. Beckham got his revenge in the best way possible. Let loose on the right wing, he chipped the perfect cross. Inter's renowned man-marking system had failed to pick up Dwight York. Beckham was taunting Inter with some wicked crosses. Cole only denied by Pagliuca's leg.
But right on half-time, Inter fell into the trap yet again. Beckham picking out an unmarked York once more. Into the second half, and United's Schmeichel played his part, somehow keeping out a goal-bound header. The referee too was on top form, spotting a push before Inter did get the ball into the net. Simeone distraught. And right at the end, the only time Inter did break through, Schmeichel's save was followed by a solid block on the line. Ferguson's game plan had worked perfectly. 2 goals should be enough to take them through.
But in general, they've worked very hard. We could have maybe a goal or two in the second half, actually. Ryan Gates had a great chance. But at the end of the day, 2-0 is a great result for us.
So a near flawless performance by United here tonight. Another display like that in 2 weeks' time, and a semi-final place will be booked. Peter Saunton, News at 10, Old Trafford.
The Wimbledon manager Joe Kinnear was taken to hospital half an hour before tonight's Premiership match at Sheffield Wednesday. Mr Kinnear, who's 52, had chest pains, though doctors have now described his condition as stable. The match went ahead and ended Sheffield Wednesday 1, Wimbledon 2. The numbers in tonight's National Lottery draw were 20, 22, 24, 25, 36 and 40. The bonus ball was number 1. Camelot say 2 winners share the £14 million jackpot. Just a reminder that from Monday, our programmes here on ITV are changing. I'll be presenting a new-look lunchtime news with John Suchet at the regular time of 12:30. Trevor MacDonald will be presenting the new half-hour ITV evening news at 6:30, and Dermot Manahan will be presenting the new ITV nightly news at 11 p.m. That's the new ITN news on ITV beginning next Monday. Quick reminder of tonight's main headline. President Museveni of Uganda has promised to catch or kill the Rwandan Hutus who slaughtered 8 tourists, 4 of them British, in a mountain gorilla reserve. More survivors have been telling of their ordeal today. And finally, the Liverpool-born author Beryl Bainbridge was sticking to her controversial guns today about regional accents. She says people have to learn to speak properly if they're to be taken seriously, and advocates compulsory elocution lessons in schools. John Draper reports.
An elocution class today in London. Or should that be class, or even class? These days at elocution, people are taught how to breathe and project, but not to change their accents. Award-winning author Beryl Bainbridge, though, thinks children should have elocution to get rid of strong accents, as she did as a child to lose her Liverpool twang.
There are certain accents that are fine. I mean, the Welsh accent is lovely, but they also have to be very articulate. But, I mean, a very strong Geordie accent and a Birmingham accent is pretty awful.
In Newcastle, that went down like a flat vowel.
If they want to go on elocution, let's let them go. I'm quite happy the way I am.
And Beryl Bainbridge's native Liverpool wasn't impressed either.
I think people from Liverpool should just be recognised for the way they talk. Shouldn't just take it away from them, should just leave them as the boss talk.
But some experts think accent can hold people back.
Well, unfortunately, looking at the work we have done, it suggests that unless you speak the received English, you stand less chance of getting a job, certainly for certain kinds of work.
I asked this elocution teacher what I should do with my Northern Ireland accent.
Oh, I would be proud of it. But I would certainly allow myself to let it be heard, to care about the listener enjoying the sound I made.
Beryl Bainbridge may have stirred up a hornet's nest with her comments about accents, but it appears most people blessed with regional accents want to hang on to them. So it's just a question of confidence. John Draper, News at 10.
And that's News at 10, the last edition I shall ever present. Trevor will be back in the driving seat tomorrow. Meantime, from all of us here, good night.
Hello, good evening. Well, we've still got a red flood alert in force for parts of the River Severn and Butterley, but at least tomorrow it's only light rain and then just a few scattered showers for the rest of the week, so no real heavy downpours to have to contend with. Now, as far as tonight goes, across Scotland, we've got cloud, rain, some wintry falls as well. Then in the southeast, these showers gradually ease away eastwards. Inland, some touches of frost with thinning cloud, and rather hefty winds here up in the far northwest. Now, as we go into tomorrow, things look like this. Low pressure in charge, tightly packed isopods out to the west, so rather strong winds here. And then a weather front, more or less stretching from Shetland down to North Wales, and on that, cloud, rain, sleet, and even some snow around. Either side of that, we've some brighter weather, even wintry showers tucking in behind there. And then during the course of the day, it's the case that the whole caboodle sinking further southwards and clouding over more or less throughout the whole of the country. Temperatures on the whole come in at about 6 to 8, mid-40s in Fahrenheit, and bear in mind that wind out to the west. That's all from me.
Power Gen. Power, whatever the weather.